going on, folks? Alan here from Blind Logic Tech with another video. We're taking a look at the M3 Max running Dota 2. I am recording this off a Sony a6000, and later I do QuickTime recording. Here I just changed the settings to be all maxed except for the shadows and anti-aliasing, and we're going to get straight into a custom lobby with bots. So you're going to see my thoughts on this video is just basically the Dota 2 gameplay you can see for yourself, and then also my takes as a gamer who used to be addicted or probably still is addicted but trying to get off in Dota anonymous type AA content. Now this initial portion is not recorded with QuickTime, so keep in mind that what I'm doing here is macOS doesn't have a shader pre-cache option, so a lot of times, unless there's a console command, which I might have to look up after this video, there's hopefully Dota or Valve releases a way to load all cachers when you're playing. This is something you'll see throughout Mac gaming environments if you're using this as a gaming machine on Mac OS. With the lack of shader options, you basically will get stutter anytime something new loads, like let's say Monkey King ult or some spell happens. There's like a slight delay, but you can see here we're running at uncapped, getting around 120 to 150 frames per second, so it's totally playable. And the other thing I'll say is that I always have issues with Bluetooth mics. That's something that affects Macs in general, so I'm wired in for this particular testing, and it was pretty smooth experience being wired in. So now we're going to get into the section where I'm doing QuickTime recording. You can see the frames per second drop to 120 frames per second, but pretty much here in this laning phase, I was, there's some getting used to on the Mac keyboard, let's say. So, for example, I'm used to Alt, but here the Command and Alt are swapped. Now you could change the hotkey settings, but then you'll have to do some keyboard shortcut magic to stop it from doing Command Q and Command W to close the game. That is simply done by going to keyboard shortcuts. I think you could Google this, but maybe I'll leave it in the comments as I'm recording this voiceover, is that you could disable the Command Q, Command W and start using those. But for this particular game, I'm getting used to using, the Alt key, which is where in the Windows keyboard, where the Command key is, and then also the Control on the Mac keyboard, there's the FN key, so sometimes that slipped me up. But basically, I would say compared to the M3 Pro and M3 Max, I mean, maybe it's the wired mouse or maybe it's the recency bias, but I feel like this turbo game in a lobby was 100% doable and enjoyable. I think perhaps the 36 gigabytes of RAM help out here, and so depending if you're thinking about going to the M3 Pro versus M3 Max, I think you could probably get away with having an M3 Pro or even get a used M1 Pro, M2 Pro, but try to get upgraded RAM to 32 gigabytes or more. Basically don't stick with the 16 gigabytes. Here you can see my micro skills are still on point with Arc Warden, able to do the tap double flux really fast. But yeah, I think from a gamer perspective, some people like gaming on Macs. You of course could get some of the new, get away with getting a new machine, such as in the $1,000 price range with what AMD is offering or the Intel Meteor Lake. But some people just prefer Macs. I think they're pretty good, or they give you a sleek sense. And I'm trying to wean off gaming and strictly blow up or focus on my personal YouTube channel besides Blind Logic Tech. But I did pick up this device to kind of get more traction on my channel, but then also use it as a work machine for my personal channel. So whatever floats your boat. I think if I was gaming on a Windows machine, you could hear the fans, and battery life is a concern for some people. For example, just going on a little ramble here, I do have the Legion Pro with RTX 4080, which is the last video I made. I literally shut the lid down and I noticed that it didn't go to sleep, and then it overheated in my bag. So that's something that at least Windows versus Mac OS is, Windows seems bugged with all of their sleep issues. And got the other kill on that guy. So I'm going to go ahead and cut into this video and do a conclusion, and then I'll put the raw gameplay at the end of this video. Let's take a cut and see what happens in the future. Lo and behold, all I do is just push mid, and it's 12 to 3. I got Dagon 5, which I think the meme now is that Rubik 4 or Rubik 3 goes Dagon, but I think it's good as caster Arc Warden. Maybe in turbo it's something to consider, but yeah, I basically just pushed up mid, thinking about how I was playing. I wasn't commenting during the actual gameplay, but I'm commenting now in post with the voice recorder. It seems pretty good. And yeah, I keep pushing with a double bubble. And yeah, let's just talk about how this. Oh, see right there, you saw that stuttered, right? With the M3 Max machine. So, for the purest gameplay, you might want to optimize getting like, if you just play Dota 2 or League of Legends, you could get away with like a $500 laptop, maybe even go for those thin models, and you could probably get like low settings, 60 frames per second, and you wouldn't get that frame drop. So yeah, even though I have this M3 Max, it still happens because it's a Mac OS issue that could annoy some people in competitive gameplay. But depending on the type of gamer you are, casual, turbo player, ranked, whatnot, I don't see people optimizing towards getting this machine just strictly for gaming. I think that's the recommendation that people make on Reddit all the time, is just get another device for gaming and use the MacBook as a productivity machine. All right, folks, so this is the end of the video. That has been my take on M3 Max. This probably applies also to League of Legends. For a MOBA type game, maybe I'll make that content if you want. Leave a comment below. But yeah, we get the victory, and I actually did an outro on the Sony a6000. So I'm gonna let my past self do that outro. Let's see what I said. Hi guys, hope you enjoyed this video of Dota 2. Yeah, just testing out the M3 Max. So be sure to stick around. I think it's going to be a long-term keeper device. I just picked up the M2 MacBook Air, but I think I'm going to keep this device to be kind of my serious YouTube channel type content, where I'm going to be making some, what is the phrase I use? Wealthy, healthy, loved, and wise. That's going to be my personal channel. But yeah, until next time, guys. Peace.